Guys, do I have a treat for you. The day is finally here. The day has come. We're gonna be reading my diary entry from the day we met, which is just gonna be so weird. It's really gonna be embarrassing. Are you kidding?
It's only this tooth.
Well, that tooth
It's your
is
left, the left pointer.
And I'm so mad that Zach doesn't keep a journal over here, so we can't even read his thoughts. But maybe you can.
You don't know if I keep a diary or not.
I know you don't keep a diary.
It's under the bed.
Yeah, every night you write
Zach's
it.
thoughts.
Zach's thoughts, I'd love to see those. Oh, I don't even know if I'd want to read it, but if you guys remember, Zach ignored me at first. Really, we both ignored each other.
That certainly didn't happen.
Yes, we both, okay. Zach's mom messaged me saying like, hey, you can like text him and he'd be down to like go out for coffee or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so weird.
Which I guess was a lie because I wasn't.
You know what? I think she gave you the heads up though that I was gonna be texting you because it wasn't obviously like, you were down. Moms know best. I texted him, we talked. He was like, I'm gonna be in Dayton this weekend so we can hang out.
It was Thanksgiving weekend of 2017. I said I would text you the day after Thanksgiving. I was like, I'll be up there. Like maybe we can meet up on Sunday. And
no, it was Saturday.
Or
Because I straightened my hair.
Whatever the day after Thanksgiving was. So I don't have the calendar.
I have the calendar. I can't. I don't want you reading anything else.
No, yeah, about the other boys you were going on dates with?
Yeah.
Sorry, boys, that didn't last.
Don't look, Zach.
I read, unfortunately, the damage is done. Last. It's so dramatic.
Stop! I'm not kidding. Like, I need to find it. Oh, okay. Ready, guys? Are you ready for this? November 25th. 2017. So earlier in the week, Tina's son, Zach, if you guys remember, I worked with Zach's mom, texted me and asked if I wanted to hang out this weekend, and I said yes. But it's 3:50 p.m. on Saturday, and I haven't heard from him. Meanwhile, Blank, this other guy, texted me asking if I wanted to meet up at the bars twice this week. I didn't even bother answering his last text.
Sorry, Blank.
Merp. That's how I feel right now, just confused and merp. Sometimes I think about another boy, like a third boy. He was so cute. I know I had to end it because of the age difference.
Wow, if you're the cute old boy, that one took Clancy out of time or two.
I told you about him.
You're watching this old boy, that stinks.
It's fine, you were great, but your age wasn't. Okay, ready? The next day, to your diary. Don't look, there might be parts I want to omit. Stop.
Yeah, for the guy texting you up and then old boy.
I guess my biggest problem is that I don't even know what I want. Basically, whatever I have, I want the opposite, and it's terrible. It's a lose-lose situation. Zach, Tina's son, never freaking texted me yesterday, and all day I was secretly hoping every text I received wasn't him. But then when nighttime came and he still hadn't texted me, I was kind of bummed. I feel like it's mostly my ego though. Plus, I was super nervous for another blind date. Actually, this would have been my first official blind date where I'd never spoken to him in person before. I go home in less than a month. I'm excited. I definitely need a break. I probably didn't write anything about you until we met because really it wasn't that significant.
Oh, yeah.
Eyes off the book. Then, as you guys know the story, 7 months later, I randomly was like, let's give that little Zachy Zach a text. We never talked ever since he said he was going to text me, and I randomly was in Cincinnati because I'd been living in Dayton. I was in Cincinnati with my friend Carly, and I'm like, let's see if he's going out tonight. He was in Boston. When I texted Zach asking if he was gonna be in Cincinnati, he said no, but said something about like maybe next weekend or something, or he probably just said like, how was, your time in Cincinnati? So I said, June 13th, 2018. Oh my gosh, I am so freaking nervous and excited. Yesterday, Tina's son, Zach, texted me, and I ended up taking a risk and being so forward and practically asked him out. We were talking about basketball, and I sent probably the most straightforward text I have ever sent in my life. Quote, no way, haha, we'll have to play sometime. That's not even that straightforward. I'm telling you, I'm not a straightforward gal.
I'm not a straightforward gal.
From there, he said eventually, I mean, I was going to ask if I could take you out sometime in Cincy. Now I may just need to beat you in b-ball, lol. And I said, what are you doing this weekend? So straightforward, I know. I basically asked him out. But I really want to meet him. On Saturday, we're going to a Cincinnati soccer game. I'm going to be a nervous wreck. I've never gone out with a guy I've never even met. I don't know what we'll even talk about, or how he'll sound, or what he'll look like. But I'm willing to take a chance. I don't know, I don't exactly have a good track record with dates, and I never end up clicking with the person, and it's just not good. But whatever, I'm 22 years old and I have nothing to lose. Well, I really am a dramatic person, like saying that.
In your journal, you were very dramatic.
Leading up to it, June 15th, 2018. Well, tomorrow I'll be going on my first blind date where I've never met the person before. I am terrified. What if it's absolutely terrible and awkward? What if we just sit there in silence all night? What if we hate each other? And I underline the word hate. Why would we hate each other? Luckily, I have, oh my God,
50-50 chance.
I remember this. This is so bad. Luckily, I have backups to make me feel better. LOL. Blank invited me to a wedding in July. I'm strongly considering going. Blank, another person, slid into my DMs the other day asking if I'd like to go back to, I don't even want to say, basically we went on a date at this location. Random, but whatever. I am the worst. Already having backups before the date even begins. Ugh. What if he hates me? What if I hate him? I honestly don't know what would be worse. I just can't find someone I click with. Also, we're meeting first at his place and then getting something to eat / drink and then going to the FC soccer game. So much time to feel awkward. Now, guys, it is time for the day after the date. When was our first date?
It was July 16th,
Zach.
17th, or 18th.
Zach, it was July? Come on.
18th.
Are you... Zach, it was July?
17th.
Zach, it wasn't July. Stop.
Huh?
We didn't go out in July.
Oh, what? What are you talking about? June? It was June 18th.
It was June 16th. Oh my gosh.
It was the best day of my life.
Really? Now I'm like thirsty for any compliment. Okay, ready guys? This is the juice. Dear diary, I don't even know what to say. It was the best date I've ever been on in my life. I am so pathetic. Then I wrote your name. Zach Rogel. I don't know. But now I'm just sad. There's no chance of anything coming from it. When the date ended, he didn't mention hanging out again. No kiss. Which, for the record, I've never kissed on the, except for once. But, like, I don't really, like, I am not a first date. Like, that's not me. And I didn't do this with Zach, though. I swear, he's the first person I didn't do this to, but I will, like, right when it's about to be that awkward, like, will they kiss you, will they not? Like, my body language is, like, which you always say that I was doing that or whatever. Like, I ran to my car or something, but...
Well, no, I think it's obvious or not whether a girl wants you to kiss her. So, it's like, if you're not getting remotely those vibes, at least in my opinion, I don't go kiss her. So maybe other people just say, hey, maybe I'll smack one on her if she wants it or not. That isn't usually my go-to move, so you weren't getting kissed.
I was so nervous driving there. I ended up passing his place and then parked pretty far away because I just wanted to walk, and like from the very beginning, it wasn't awkward at all. And I was so attracted to him right off the bat. Because I seriously, guys, I didn't know what the heck he was gonna look like. Like, his mom had sent me a picture from a year or two before maybe, and it was just one picture. Like, you can't tell what someone looks like in just one picture. Social media, you didn't really have. So I was like, what does this man look like?
Try to stay offline as much as possible.
Yeah, that's really going well for you nowadays. We Ubered to this, okay, it's so funny looking at like my mistakes, like of just not knowing life. We Ubered to this Asian place called Bebop Bop or something like that, and it was pretty gross. It's BB Bop, I just had never heard of it.
Yeah, and to clarify, we Ubered to campus and then we ate at BB Bop.
Yeah, it's not like you were like BB Bop is a destination.
I mean, BB Bop, if for anyone that doesn't know, is like a Chipotle style Asian. Like, wasn't like my ideal first date spot, but we were on campus and I wouldn't say we were running late.
You take like, all the other girls to an ideal spot?
Yeah. I was just trying to be cheap. I wasn't sure how this was gonna go.
I paid for our dinner. You paid for our ticket.
We needed to eat somewhere quick, and then I wanted to get a drink somewhere quick. That's why we were at BB Bop, for anyone that's thinking. I'm cheap. But then, I guess technically Clancy took me to BB Bop, so she's cheap.
I got lettuce, cucumbers, and chicken. The details, we love it. Which was just not a good move. But right away, we clicked. Then we went to a bar, Max, and got a beer. And after that, the game. It was so much fun, underlined. He was so funny, and I think I made him laugh too. Oh my gosh, within the first few minutes, I spilled my beer on the guy in front of me. It was mortifying, but he didn't seem to notice. His back was all sweaty, so it blended in.
It was 95 degrees
It was
that
so
day,
sweaty,
so
like, oh.
Sweaty guy that got beer poured on him, I don't blame
He probably liked it. We were joking about Richmond, number 14, and oh my gosh, it was just such a good time. Then we went to a bar, Highmark, to see if I could beat his high score in Pop-A-Shot. I didn't, but it was so much fun. It was in this bar that I started acting weird and different. I started getting sad knowing it was all coming to an end. Him, oh, he had no care in the world. He definitely does this all the time.
I mean, I was boozing, just playing some Pop-A-Shot, so.
I got there at 5:15 and left at 12:45, but it felt like the shortest date I've ever been on? Wow, this sucks. I need to forget about him. The easiest way to do that is to find someone new. Whatever, I'll be out of here in less than a year anyway. Man, this really does suck though. My head is spinning. Okay, the one thing I didn't like was that I couldn't really drink because I was driving, but he was drinking beer after beer and a shot. I felt left out. But you'll see my next thing, like I was really nervous that he was some crazy partier. And the shot, this woman gave him for free because he was at the bar the night before. And so she was like, the bartender he met was like giving him drinks for free. And when he took the shot, I was just, because I was driving, so I had one beer.
And we were Ubering everywhere, so just to make it clear, we weren't.
Oh yeah, I would know, yeah. Also, he indicated he does some sort of drugs, so that's a deal breaker right there. To clarify, Zach told me a story of when he was little, that, like when I say little, I mean in high school, of, I forget what, like there was like a cigar can or something, like a cigar. He was telling me a story of when he got in trouble, right? It was a story about cigars. From there, my head goes to, oh my gosh, he's a drug addict. It's like, but I didn't want to ask, and I want to like ruin this moment, because if he said yes, it just would have been game over. So I just wanted to live in just bliss and not mention the drug thing, but I left there thinking like, man, he really might dabble in drugs. For the record, Zach does not, but it's so funny to think back on. Look at me. I'm trying to find all these deal breakers with this perfect guy. Ugh, I'm just bummed. I'm telling you, the ending sealed the deal for me. I could just tell this was it. I don't know why. And now it's time to spend the next few days staring at my phone, wishing he would text. Wait, okay, I was gonna just not even say days/weeks. Why? I don't know why I'm so dramatic. I'm like not this dramatic in real life. In my diary, it's like, let's just go.
You want someone when you're older to find your diaries and make a movie on it?
At one point, he asked how old I was because I said I've never seen Big Daddy. And when I told him...
The movie.
Yeah.
The Adam
I honestly don't even really know what it is. And when I told him, he said, oh, you're young, and it made me feel weird. I don't know, which is funny because the age difference thing like actually did bother him at first. Like I could tell on that date when I told him I was 22, he was 26. He was like, what? You're 22?
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna work after. I just wasn't sure. I was like, she's
Really?
too young.
No, that's so sad.
But it worked. I mean, obviously, like, you are mature and whatnot, but I was just like, wow. 4 years, like, once you become obviously like 30 and 26, that doesn't seem nearly as like big of a deal, but like that was like at the tweener age. Obviously we couldn't have done it if it was like 20 and 16.
No, but I always think about it, like what if Zach met me when I was a freshman in high school, this is what I looked like, and then Zach would have been a senior in high school and he would have looked something like this. We were very different. Zach has always looked like a man in a good way. I've always looked like a 7-year-old in a bad way. So thank God we met.
Just saying that I was 20 when you were 16 does sound weird.
Ew, I know.
But that wasn't the case.
I like them
all
all.
you creeps.
Okay, man, I just wish I knew what he was thinking. What his goal of this whole night was.
Yeah, I set out my goals for the evening before she arrived.
But yeah, so moral of the story, this sucks. I've never enjoyed a date so much. Why am I like this? Who says that in 2 sentences? And since being in Dayton, I've never gotten home from a date and not had a guy text me that he wants to hang out again. Whatever. Did you not text me?
I would have to imagine I texted you that you got home safe.
Yeah, you did, and that was so nice. But you didn't say anything about hanging out, and I needed that like blood there. Like, tell me now.
You again. Yeah.
No, you didn't do that.
It was just get home safe.
You waited for me to get home though. You were like, hey, did you get home? And I was like, that's home.
Yeah, I would have definitely waited for you to
drive home. Because it was late.
Yeah.
That was so nice. Guys, I was like falling asleep behind the wheel. Driving home at 1 a.m. with my schedule, are you kidding me? Whatever, I need to focus on my career and get out of Ohio anyway. I always said I didn't want to get stuck here for a guy anyway. Looks like I'll be fine, that is all. Well, I did get stuck here for a boy.
For at least a little bit longer.
Funny how that works out.
Are you happy you're still in Cincinnati, or in Ohio, I guess you said technically?
I'm very happy I'm still in Ohio. It's so funny because like I think of the first date like it was yesterday, but it also feels just like we were two different people.
Same but different.
Okay, but what are your overall thoughts on the first date?
I think for the most part, they were all pretty similar from the get-go. I was not sure what to expect just with your personality wise. We've talked about this before. People obviously make assumptions of what you would assume someone might be like, and then with Clancy being on YouTube and having a big personality and being on TV, which that typically takes a big personality, or in Clancy's sake at least, the skills and ability to have a big personality when she wants to turn it on. You would think in person she would be a lot more outgoing maybe right away. Come in, be loud, want to be the type of person that's the attention seeker-esque type personality, which I think some of these people are. No offense, it's just a different personality. Where Clancy is very much not like that at all, in at least new scenarios until she like gets to know people and things like that, and even still, it really isn't what you would imagine in a good way.
She doesn't live up to any of mine.
Well, no, but like you're just way more calm and quiet and reserved. Like,
yeah.
It's just what your personality is. I knew she was driving on the way down, and one, she's an incredibly slow driver, and two, that I guess she passed my place a few times and then parked far away. I mean, I was waiting like an extra like 30 minutes minimum. It's only about a 50-minute drive. It's like, where is she? So I was just like sitting there thinking, and then by the time she finally got there, it was like almost a buildup of like just not knowing what the heck the first interact. How do you go in and hug? How do you say hello?
We didn't hug. We would never hug.
Normal people probably would have said hello, but Clancy's
I seriously couldn't hug him for like the 17th.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I would have like anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm like a big hugging person, but it's like a normal. Yeah, it's just a normal introduction type thing. Then obviously it's just like step by step, and it's like, how is it gonna go? Like when we initially like went down into my apartment, just because like that's kind of awkward. I would think if I was a girl, I would feel a little bit awkward going to get down to some
for the record, like I just want to make this clear because I know this was a blind date. I would never do that with a typical blind date, but I knew his mom. I was nervous about like the social anxiety of it, but I was never nervous about like my safety. But you did say you thought it was like weird. You were gonna have like an Uber.
Like you just be like, hey, pop in the Uber. Like don't come into my place. Like
that would have been so weird.
Yeah, but I don't know. It would have eliminated the weird interaction potentially in my apartment. I think we were both kind of just like, okay, we went into like feel it out mode right away. But then once we finally got to BB Bop and got settled, I think it kind of went very smoothly from there. Like that's where it was like we can actually like talk. Like you can't like really like talking on a first date in an Uber is kind of weird. Like, tell me about your life. Like,
oh my god, do you mean we talked at BB Bop?
I was saying once we talked to BB Bop.
Oh my god, I thought you were saying you can't really talk at BB Bop. I'm like, BB Bop is where I was like, I love him.
No, I'm saying like on an Uber ride down, it's like
Uber?
Like, Uber. Oh, that would be actually kind of funny to know, like, what we said, like.
Oh, I do remember, it's just so funny, like, I did little things. I remember I was like, oh, how was that concert? Like, the one that he blew me off for. I was like, I hear he's great in concert. And it's so funny, just the little lies you tell. I don't even know Kendrick Lamar. I've never heard he's great, but I just specifically remember telling that lie and being like, why am I lying right now? Would you say, and be honest, that the first date was, like, seriously, just be honest, like, was like, oh my gosh, like this was like amazing, or that it needed like more of a build up through the other dates?
I thought the date went as good as like a first date could go. I think with you being as reserved, like you don't give off as much flirtation as I would say some other girls. Like it was like it took like a couple dates for me to like, does this girl actually want to like are we just really good pals, or like are we gonna make this thing kind of romantic or not? So I couldn't say our date could have gone any better from a perspective of I really liked you and I definitely wanted to see you again, and I was hoping obviously I could continue to see you and that we could get to that point. But if I had to go home and say like how did the date go, I'd say 10 out of 10. It was great first day. I mean, I think like we were on the same page. Like I'm glad we did everything we did, right? I think it just was nice to go to dinner. It was nice to get a drink. It was nice to go to the game. It just worked out. Everything worked out really nicely and I had a blast. But to rate like if I thought she was romantically super interested, that I just don't know. She wasn't lingering for a kiss. She wasn't super flirty. Like we were like I would say once we got to Highmark, obviously we had finished an entire date already. I mean, we'd been together for like 3 hours. I think we were like flirting more, that like we had finally like flirted a little, like talked, joked and things like so like, I thought if I would have been at Highmark, we could have paused it there and then it was like, okay, once you Uber home, you get to your car, I would have said we would have kissed.
Really?
But we didn't, because
I know.
Old turbo legs over here just ran to her car and just bounced.
I am so awkward, but that's why it's so funny, because in my diary I'm writing like, this is like the most magnificent human I've ever met in my life, like oh my gosh, we're getting married. I obviously didn't write that, guys, but those like weren't the vibes I was like giving off. But it's really funny to think that like little did you know, like
yeah, I mean you were just a little bit more reserved, but I mean that's not a bad thing, and obviously we kept dating and we got there.
Eventually.
Took a little time.
And now we hug.
Yeah, we can hug now.
I don't even feel that, like, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Wow, that was awesome, man. That was such a good trip down memory lane. Maybe, guys, we can make this like a little series because I'm not gonna do it in this video. It's kind of getting long. But, I mean, when we met, like, just would write up a storm. Like, I get into, like, writing phases, and obviously when I met Zach, that was just such, like, I just needed to, like, get it all out. I, like, documented our entire first couple of months of dating, so maybe we can write another one another time. Let me know if you guys want to see it. Man, any last words?
If you're single out there, any single 26-year-old guys, you still have a chance
With
to find love.
a 22-year-old.
Or any age. You don't have to just look for that 22-year-olds.
Don't
I
count
got
out the
very lucky.
22-year-olds. We are mature, and don't underestimate us.
Underestimate?
Yeah, was that like English? I'm glad we kept it going.
Me too, dude.
Thank you. Peace.